Just close your eyes and let them rest. I know it's hard to fall asleep, but do your best. 'Cause there's a place that I go to when I wanna hide from all the shades of blue. 'Cause at times I think of leaving, my mind takes me back to fall, when the snow begins to sing goodnight to warm.
Hello crafty friends, it's Caroline, and happy Saturday morning makes to all of you. It has been a very busy few weeks for me, as I'm sure it has been for you too, and I am thrilled to be back here today and share a project for Saturday Morning Makes. Now, if you don't know what Saturday Morning Makes is, it is an open collaboration that was created by and hosted by the amazing and wonderful and talented Jillian Norwood at Jillian Norwood Designs. Now, Jill created this forum for artists and crafters and creatives to come together every Saturday morning and share the projects that they're working on using the hashtag SatMornMakes. You can click on the hyperlink that is created when that hashtag is typed out, the hashtag SatMornMakes, and see everyone else's postings and what they're making. And you can also join in yourself and just post the projects that you're working on, the things that you're creating. Use that hashtag and we can all celebrate alongside with you. This is a beautiful community forum, and I'm so grateful for Jill for creating it, because I'm always inspired by seeing others' posts. It's fun to be able to join in and share the things I'm making too, and I'm just very appreciative for the forum. For today's Saturday Morning Makes, we're going to be making some flowers. Yay! I have cut out all of these wonderful flower shapes using a couple of different dies. I had the Heartfelt Creations Small Wild Rose set here, as well as just, I don't even know where I got this. It's a random set of, I've labeled it assorted flowers and leaves here, and I've cut out these shapes. Instead of using paper today, I'm using foam, and this is a first for me. I've never done this before. I'm using some colors from this set here. It is a Sizzix set of sculpting foam, and the colors that I'm using are the pale yellow and these two lighter pinks. This is set number 664608. These sheets come in 12-inch by 24-inch rolls. They're quite large, and I went ahead and cut mine down to a more manageable size that can actually fit through my die cutting machine base. I'm also using this color of pink here that was in the set that is numbered 664610, and I bought all of those supplies at countrycraftcreations.com, and I will have a link listed in the description notes below if you're interested in checking those out. So when I began doing this, I tried a couple different things. The first thing I tried was using my sculpting tool. Now, this is a wonderful flower shaping kit from Heartfelt Creations. I highly recommend it. It has all of these wonderful tools and these great foam pads that you can use them on. All these different little nibs that you can change out. It's really wonderful, but it's designed for paper, and I found that there were some issues when I was trying to use it on the foam. Number one, it's that I'm rubbing foam on foam, right? And so if there was creating some friction here, the foam pieces weren't turning in the way that they should when you're using the nib. It was also sort of transferring some of the coloring, the black coloring of the foam onto the petals themselves, because they're the same material, right? So I stopped and I started looking at it, and I realized that there's directions on here, and it shows that they can be used with or without heat, but they're made to be used with a heat gun. And the heat gun is what creates the curl in this case, instead of the friction that you would normally do with making paper flowers. So I'm going to pivot here slightly, and I'm going to get out my heat tool, and we're going to see what happens. I figured there's no better time to do an experiment than with you, my crafty friends, on this Saturday morning for Satmorn Makes, right? So I have my heat tool out, and I'm just going to play around and see what happens. Like I said, this is a first for me too. I haven't tried this yet. So let's see let's see how it works. Oh wow, it really is starting to curl up. I'm having some issues with it sort of blowing around from the airflow of the heat gun. Whoops. Let me see if I can't maybe I can hold it with my tweezers. Okay, so I've got my reverse tweezers here, and I'm just gonna maybe grab it towards the center because I want the edges to curl up. And let's heat this up. Okay, that curled a lot. I'm not sure. Let's try. I think doing it flat on the table might be best. And if you guys are used to doing this, let me know. I would love to hear, you know, what has worked for you. I don't know. I kind of like that though. Let's try a few others here. Maybe instead of holding it up, I'm just going to use my reverse tweezers to hold it down. Oh yeah, I think that's definitely better. And I did forget to mention that I'm using my glass mat here because I didn't want to apply the heat on top of my rubber cutting mat. Okay, I think I figured it out. I think the best way is if you apply the heat towards the center and allow each petal to curl up towards the center, just like that. And then you end up with this really nice curled effect. Yep, I like that. All right, I'm gonna go through and continue to apply heat to these and I'll be right back. Okay, that was really fast and really fun. I was a little concerned that the heat and the foam might make a smell. It doesn't. And so now the next step is gonna be to layer them together as flowers, right? So we wanna layer the petals in that way. I purchased these flower stamens also from Country Craft Creations. And again, all links will be in the description notes below when available. And these are the medium size and they're the pastel pearl. This is probably a lifetime supply. There's a lot in here, but I thought that they would be the most versatile for me in kind of how I want to use them. So I'm going to pull some of them out and we're going to start playing with that. Now they seem to be wrapped up here with a piece of string. And so I'm going to unwrap them. And so what they are is they have a wire in the inside, so they can be shaped. And I think I want to, threes are good, but yeah, I think I'm going to cut one of them in half and bundle them up in threes and place those inside. So let's get a few of these white ones, get like the smaller one in the center, and you want them to be like the petals to be offset. So, you know, you want the layer above to sort of cover the in between the petals from the one below. We'll just sort of layer these up like that. There, I think that looks good. And then I'm gonna take my pokey tool that my good friend made for me, and I'm just gonna poke right through the center. And Rhea, I love my pokey tool. Thank you so much. And then let's sort of twist these maybe. There we go, let's do that. We're gonna thread them through each layer and then pull them together. That should work. And maybe I'm being fussy about having groups of three, but I don't know. I feel like for design purposes, I feel like having 3 stamens is nice. And then we'll put this one through. Yeah, I think poking the holes individually is gonna be better and threading them individually is gonna be better because it's easier to line that up in a center point. Oh, look how pretty that's looking already. I really like it. Okay, bigger hole on this one. Press this through. There we go. Isn't that fantastic? Oh my goodness, I'm so happy with the way it looks. I think it's really pretty. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna go through and just layer these up and put some stamens in them and see what we end up coming up with.
Just close your eyes and let them rest. I know it's hard to fall asleep, but do your best. 'Cause there's a place that I go to when I wanna hide from all the shades of blue. 'Cause at times I think of leaving, my mind takes me back to fall, when the snow begins to sing goodnight to warm. But I will never leave your side, you're the reason to all my pride. Never wither and runs dry, and your roses are my guides. Goodbye, my friend, our love remains, but not this way. I'm in your garden as a day. Just feel the wind. If you look close, you see the lilies dance and how they slowly grow. I'm counting years as they go by. Now all the lilies gone and aces brought to life. 'Cause at times I think of leaving, my mind takes me back to fall, when the snow begins to sing goodnight to all. But I will never leave your side. You're the reason to all my pride. Never wither and runs dry, and your roses are my guides. Goodbye, my friend, our love remains, but not this way. I'm in your garden as a tale. But I will never leave your side. You're the reason to all my pride. Never wither and runs dry, and your roses are my guides. Goodbye, my friend, our love remains, but not this way. I'm in your garden as a tale. I know you'll meet me here one day.
Okay, I have completed them and I think they look really pretty. I like them. I think they look really nice. And as I was making them, I came up with an idea on what I want to do with them. So let's start working on that next. So Valentine's Day is right around the corner and I would like to make something for my kids to give to their teachers as teacher gifts. And since I don't know a single teacher that isn't short on pencils by this time of the school year, I'm thinking a big box of number 2 pencils is going to fit the bill, and we're going to do it in a way so they look pretty. Now, I had these pieces left over from when I made the Valentine cards tutorial. These were just some cutoffs. They are 5 inches wide by 12 inches long, and I'm going to use them to determine the dimensions for what we're going to make. And I think what I'm going to do is I want to create some sort of a cylindrical little container to put the pencils in, and we'll use the flowers to decorate around them. I'm thinking a nice bouquet of pencils, you know, a la You've Got Mail. I'm showing my age, I know. So let's see what we can come up with. I've got 4 pieces here that measure 5 inches by 12 inches. And since I'm trying to use what I've got, I'm thinking 3 of them I want to reserve for the sides of my container, and 1 of them I need to use to create the base. So I'm trying to kind of come up with something that is circular that I can use to cut these out with. So I'm thinking this interior circle here is a nice size. I should be able to come along here, draw my circle shape on here. So I'm going to grab another number 2 pencil and come around here and just trace around and make my circle shapes. There we go. We've got our little shapes in place. I'm thinking I'm going to cut some tabs around here to sort of attach it on the inside with. So I don't want to actually cut out this circle shape. This circle shape is what I'm going to cut to for the tabs, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm just estimating maybe adding, what is that, like a 1/2 inch around this circle. Some places it might not be a 1/2 inch, some places it might be a little bit more. It doesn't matter. This is just where we're kind of creating a beginning spot. And then I'm going to come up and I'm just going to make clips all along here, right up next to that line that I just drew, the circle line. And I'm coming all around there so that I've got these little clips coming up to that line all the way around. And now that I've made all my little clips there, I'm just gonna press them up towards the circle, just, you know, kind of gently at first. I'm not trying to necessarily crease them along that circle line right now. I'm just trying to give them a little bit of a shape. And once I'm, you know, kind of happy with that, I'm going to come back around. I'm just continuing to work them up until I can get close to a 90-degree angle on them. There we go. I think that works. Now let's retrieve one of our pieces here. And I feel like, I don't know that it needs to be that tall, but Yeah, I don't think it needs to be that tall. So let's trim this down. I think 4 inches is about right. I think, yeah, we're gonna do a 4-inch height on this. So I'm gonna cut 1 inch off, and that way we can use that band to sort of reinforce it. I'll be right back. All right, I've trimmed my scrap down so it's 4 inches wide. And so I've got a 1-inch little piece here as well. And I don't know how long this needs to be. You know, I didn't measure the circumference of this. I'm just sort of making this up as I go along. Let's come all the way around the circle that we just traced, just like this. You guys, I'm making it up as I go along here. And I want to make sure it's pressed to the edges of the circle in here. And once I have that kind of where I want it to be, let's, I'm not even worried about there being an overlap on that. That's going to be just fine. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and just glue it in place, right? Might as well. So we've got it all kind of stuck in here. Let's come along. I'm gonna put some glue on this side. Oh, I had to get a glue bottle that wasn't clogged up. I'm really bad about not putting my pins back in my tips. Okay, so we've got this one there. Let's let that kind of come around like that. There we go. And I'm just making sure that it's pressed all the way to the sides. I'm gonna put some more glue on the back side of this one. There we go. Just kind of form that inside of there. That works. And now we've got our ring that should be sized appropriately. It'll sit on the inside here. And we're gonna glue these bands up along the edges. Okay, and so now what I wanna do is I wanna put a pretty good amount of glue along a section of these little slit flaps that I created here. Place this in here. There we go, and then let's just press it up. Just kind of press it into place. I'm working with a smallish section at a time. There we go. Get those stuck into place. That works. Come along, put some more glue on another section and continue on around in that way. There we go. I've got my little flaps kind of glued up around here. It's not 100% perfect, but it's good enough. I think it looks pretty great. And so now I'm just gonna wrap this around to create the sides just like this. Yep, I think that's gonna work just fine. So I'm gonna come along, do the same thing. I'm gonna do it in sort of sections. I'm gonna come along with some glue on a little area here, and we're gonna start wrapping it around. I'm encasing this really thick band of all of those little kind of clipped up sides that I folded up. In many areas, they're overlapping, you know, so it's pretty thick. And that's just fine. So let's come along here. I'm just gonna hold it for a little bit, let it kind of catch. Whoops, wipe up any glue as you go along. Come along, and I'm just gonna continue to place some glue along this base portion and wrap this around. Now, this didn't have to be made entirely of paper. I could have just as easily, or probably even easier, wrapped around maybe like an empty and cleaned soup can or something like that, and that would have worked just fine. But this is what I had. This is what I'm doing. We're going with it. And then a little more glue on this to just this overlap section, and we'll seal it all up. All right, I wanted an idea of what my circumference was around here. And so I thought the easiest way to do it would I just wrap some washi tape around, and now I'm gonna measure my washi tape. I do have a little bit of overlap, not much. Looks like it's about 10¼ inches. I'm gonna use this. I'm not gonna waste it, but it's gonna give me a base measurement. And now I wanna go ahead and cut some pattern paper. So I went ahead and took my pattern paper and I cut it at 9 inches on the side that doesn't have the branding strip. That's gonna leave me with a piece that's roughly 3½ inches. And I know the branding strip is on there still. It would be nice to be able to wrap this around here like that. And then I will take the washi tape and we'll cover up, or we'll take another piece of paper. I'm not sure which. Well, anyway, we'll cover up where that branding strip is. But I think that that's going to be a nice little way to go ahead and wrap this. And I was thinking I wanted to do it with the flowers, but maybe we'll go like this. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And I was also going to cut these down to the 10 and a quarter. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, I've cut this down to 10 and a quarter inches, and I'm just going to glue this right around my little container, just like that. I think that's going to be nice. And then we'll figure out how to sort of cover up the parts that we don't want to be showing like that. Now, I probably would have been easier doing this if I had used tape. And in fact, I think I'm going to do tape on the next one, but I've already put the glue on this one, so that's just what we're going to do. Let's lay it down and just sort of roll it around here. Yeah, I think the tape would have been a lot easier. But I'm going to hold it long enough for it to catch and it'll be just fine. There we go. That's actually made it quite a bit more firm. I think that that's pretty nice. Okay, I've got some ribbon that I'm going to put around here to cover that up. And then I think if I then come back over it with the washi tape on top of the ribbon, yeah, now you're not going to see any of that branding strip. Okay, so let's cut our ribbon to the 10 and a quarter inches. Well, actually I'm going to do 10 and a half just to be safe here. 11. Let's cut it to 11 inches. Let's put some tape on the back of it. I'm just thinking that the double-sided tape is going to be easier to adhere than the glue. And I'm just going to run that along the back of my ribbon. Burnish it really well onto the ribbon and then remove the backing. And then we'll just start wrapping it around here. I'm just lining it up with the bottom and sort of letting it fall into place. I didn't take all of the backing off of my ribbon just because I have a tendency to accidentally stick it where I don't want it. So I'm only doing a little bit at a time here. Kind of pulling it back to reveal it. There we go. Keep wrapping it around. This edge is a little frayed, so let's give it a fresh cut. And just sort of singe the edge there, just so it doesn't continue to fray. There we go. There, that looks great. Let's take our washi tape that we used to measure with. This is gonna be so pretty. Let's put it along here. Let's center it. Yeah, like that. I'm going to tack the end down here with just a little bit of glue. Washi tape is removable, so I don't want it to peel up. There we go. That looks great. And as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking it could really benefit from a band at the top as well. So I'm going to do the same thing with a ribbon band and some washi tape around the top. There we go. I'm thinking let's make a nameplate on it. That would be nice, right? Okay, I've taken a few scraps here. I've got this one here is 2 3/4 by 1 inch. This one here is 2 7/8 by 1 1/8. And this one here is 3 inches by 1 1/4. And I'm just gonna layer them up and create a nameplate to then attach on the front of our little pencil container, right? So I think the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and write the teacher's name. And then once I've got a nice little nameplate created here, we are going to attach it on here. And I think it's going to be easier to glue down if I sort of give it a kind of curve it. That's good. So now let's go ahead and glue it up and stick it on. Burnish from the inside in a kind of rounded way. There we go. Oh my goodness, I love the way this is looking. I think it's super cute. It's definitely sturdy. And I just want to attach my flowers on here, but I'm really thinking that I need to use hot glue at this point. I was just checking to see that my pencils fit in here, and they do. They fit in here exactly how I wanted it to look. I think it's super cute. And so now I just need to wait for my hot glue gun to heat up, and we're gonna glue down some flowers. Now I've got my hot glue heated up here. There we go. This is so cute. Yeah, I like it. I think it's super cute. So now I'm just gonna kind of come around here and just make some sort of a composition. I'm not the best at these types of flower arranging like this. I'm leaving the tails on these, but maybe I don't need to. Let me try trimming them off and see if that might be a better way to do it. I don't want to cut them all the way off, but at least enough. There we go. Oh yeah, that's hot. Cute. You know who's really good at flower arranging is Kim Reynolds at Kim Can't Stop Crafting. She does the most beautiful little floral arrangements on all of her paper crafts. And I'm trying to channel my inner Kim here. She is also a teacher and would probably appreciate some number 2 pencils. Okay, there we go. I think it's good. I dropped this one. I melted it and then dropped it, so don't do that. It turned my heat down on my glue gun. I had it up too high. There we go. Yep, I like it. Okay, so this one's done. Let me work on the other 2 and I'll be right back. Alrighty folks, we finished it, and I think gifting their teachers a bouquet of pencils for Valentine's Day is just the sweetest thing ever. I hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday. I hope you're being kind to yourselves, and I hope you're finding some joy in your journey. Thanks so much, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
But I will never leave your side. You're the reason to all my pride. Never wither and runs dry. And your roses are my guides. Goodbye, my friend. Our love remains, but not this way. I'm in your garden as a tale. Just feel the wind. If you look close, you see the lilies dance and how they slowly grow. I'm counting years as they go.